Feels like I've not done this for a while. I thought I'd start this vlog a little bit early. Today is Sunday the 15th of December and tomorrow I'm off on a very exciting press trip with Official London Theatre. I'm basically going away to London, to the West End for a couple of days, and I'm going to be seeing Come From Away, which has been at the top of my must-see list for a very long time now. And I'm going to be creating some content for Official London Theatre's use, as well as doing a bit of blogging and vlogging and social mediaing of my own. And I'm really excited. I've been as excited for this as I have been for Christmas. So you probably know that I've always loved Official London Theatre. And one of the things that's been really nice to see over the last few years is how they've started focusing more on inclusivity. Yeah, they're just always so lovely to work with. Like Megan and the team are just fab, and I'm just so honoured that they think of me. We're going to head down to London. We don't have any major plans, but we're hopefully going to get to enjoy some of Covent Garden at Christmas time, go to Winter Wonderland, and we're also going to a bookish event tomorrow, but I'll tell you about that then. So I'll see you then. We were so keen we made it to the hotel an hour early, so we're just camped out in the Premier Inn. We had somebody pick us up from the... I am vlogging, do you mind? Izzy's having quite an aggressive Sudoku experience over there, but the traffic is actually concerning me a little bit because we've got quite a tight schedule later, so cross your fingers for us. Let's see how this goes. We're in a hub by Premier Inn on St Martin's Lane near Covent Garden. We've stayed here a few times before. So it's a compact room, but it's got everything you need. This is the wet room, and you just come round here, and then we've just got 2 single beds. So it does what it says on the tin, really. It's a really good budget option. Like I say, we've stayed here before, and yeah, that's that. Just before I have a little lie down, I just thought I'd update you on the situation because I'm being a very brave and grown-up girl. I actually had an invite to go to the Penguin Books Christmas party today, and I never get to go to bookish events. It was like an absolute miracle that this was one where there was even the possibility of me being able to go while we were in London, even though it would have meant us going early and leaving really quickly in order to get back for the theatre starting at 7:30. We were going to do it, but with the roadworks and the traffic being so bad, 1, the timings, and 2, the cost of a taxi, it just means it isn't feasible this time, and I'll be honest, I'm really gutted about it. I really hope I get the opportunity again, but it's fine, we're prioritising what we're here to do. It will come around again, and we're also going to get ice cream to make up for it from Eureka, so it's all good, it's all fine. I can confirm this is not the finished look.
It might be the finished one.
I mean, it could be. We were going to go and get some Eureka ice cream delivered, and now the ultimate tragedy has occurred and Eureka is not available to deliver to us today. So we're just trying to stay strong through this difficult time. We will soldier on. It will be fine.
Yeah, but will it?
It will be fine, I promise.
Yeah.
We've been through worse.
Like what?
Like when McDonald's couldn't deliver on Uber Eats. So we were actually just talking about some of the ways to kind of make going to the theatre a bit easier when you are dealing with an absolutely delightful chronic illness.
If you're staying in London or wherever you're going to the theatre, to make sure you have adequate rest before heading out.
Yeah, so if you'd like travelling somewhere, so we've come from up north to London today, it can be really tempting to think, oh, I'm in a new place, let's try and jam all of this in before we go to the theatre. And while that seems like a really good idea at the time, I'm no stranger to doing too much before, and then by the time it actually comes around to getting ready to go to the theatre, you find that you feel rubbish and you kind of think, oh, I wish I'd just taken it a bit easier. And I know it's so much easier said than done. And even though it can... even though that can seem like a little bit sometimes, I would recommend it, especially if you're like, if this is a show that you've wanted to see and it's taken a lot of preparation to get here. It is worth it, I promise.
And theatres can be quite exhausting.
Yes.
As well. It can, depending on what show you see, it can be a bit of an assault on the eyeballs and the eardrums.
Yep, noise sensitivity, light sensitivity, cognitive overload, we all know all of those things. So it can be worth resting up in advance and making sure that you're as physically capable of handling that as possible.
Accessibility.
Yeah! So, okay, like, let's be honest, theatres have a long way to go. A lot of them are in listed buildings. It isn't always easy to adapt them to make them accessible for everybody. Things are moving forward, and the one good thing that I can say pretty much generally about theatres across the West End and across the UK actually is that where they're lacking in accessible facilities, the staff are more than willing to make up for it. I mean, they can't overcome some of the challenges that are there, but for the most part, staff are really attentive and do what they can to make the process easier for you. So I'd say communicating your needs is a big thing. Like if you're booking access tickets, like make sure, I've got a blog post on this, I'll link it below, all about booking access tickets and some like hints and tips for that. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Make sure you ask about internal steps.
Yes.
And thresholds as well, because what some people might not see as a step can be a big problem if you're in a power chair.
Oh yeah, that's something we've learned firsthand. Yeah. Sometimes you can find that information on theatres' websites. Other times it is better to speak to somebody. So I suppose do your research is another tip in its own right, isn't it? Like be as prepared as possible. If you put a bit of time in before you go, it'll make your experience while you're there a lot more enjoyable, basically. If you're an ambulatory wheelchair user, so you use a wheelchair part-time but you're wanting to transfer to a seat, it's worth asking if you can leave your wheelchair in the cloakroom if you don't want to take it into the auditorium with you. Sometimes you can even take it right up to your seat, and then a member of front of house staff will then take it away and put it away from you, and then like even bring it back to you. Don't feel uncomfortable asking for what you need, because I know it's one thing to say that and another thing to act on it. It is like, I know there's such a long way to go in the industry, but things are improving. As much as I hate the kind of term raising awareness, because it can sometimes feel a bit empty, it does feel like people are kind of becoming more informed about the issues people with chronic illnesses face. And there's some, yes, I don't know if this is a thing in London yet, to be fair, we'll have a look tonight, but sunflower lanyards are becoming a thing in theatres. You can sometimes pick up a sunflower lanyard from like the front of house, from the box office or front of house staff. It cut off during a very important point about sunflower lanyards. So just to finish that, sunflower lanyards are a way of making an invisible condition more visible. And even though I do believe that somebody shouldn't have to be wearing a lanyard necessarily to be treated with respect and courtesy, whatever their needs are, they are a really handy way. Oh no, don't burn yourself.
Sorry, I'm fine.
Some of the challenges that people don't often think about are things like actually having to stand for programmes and merchandise, and even accessible toilets you have to stand in queue for. That's perfect, thank you. She's a good in. So there's just a few tips to get you started. Goodbye. So are you going anywhere nice on your holidays this year?
Oh no, me and Dave are just probably going to stay at home this year,
Oh,
you know.
that's nice. How's your Sharon?
Oh, she's alright, she's just had octuplets actually.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
nice.
she's
I heard
just
about that in paper.
Did you? Oh.
How's
Did you
her
like
partner
all the
doing?
F names? There's
Oh,
Fred,
yeah,
and
Fred.
there's Frankie, and there's Felicia,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
Felicio.
Oh, I was
And
going to
then-
name my youngest. I just spat. I'll just lunge. Right. So, I like being the tall one.
I don't like it. Ha!
So we're ready, and this evening we are off to see Come From Away, which is a 4-time Olivier winning musical, I will have you know. And we had to clear up a bit of a misunderstanding earlier, didn't we? About... Would you like to tell the nice viewers what you thought Come From Away was about?
I thought it was about aliens. It would come from away. Like, where is away? Away could be in space.
I'm glad we cleared that up before we went in the theatre. I mean, I'm talking like I know all about the musical. I actually don't know that much about the musical, but I do know that it's based on a true story of the events that followed 9/11. So it's set in this small Canadian town, I believe, and it's about a community who had to welcome like an abundance of people from all over into their way of life. and it's a musical.
I'm really looking forward to it. I like going to see things that I have no idea what to expect at all. So
sometimes when you go in with no expectations, it's much better than going in having high expectations.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, experience has shown that to us.
That's life, really, isn't it? Like, if you have no expectations, then at least it can't be disappointing. And there's no aliens.
There's no aliens, no.
I'm only moderately annoyed about.
Well, we will have to write our own musical with aliens. Stay tuned. Subscribe. Oh, God. I'm so sorry. We are safely in the theatre. We have had, I'm not even joking, we have had the best, what would you call it, the best
Welcome.
the most warm welcome ever. It's been so lovely. They took care of the wheelchair straight away. They even pushed it for us, which is good because you're a bit injured at the minute as well, aren't you?
Slightly.
It was really easy to get in. Was it a step to get in? Oh, there was one step to get in.
Yeah, one step, but it wasn't a big one.
Yeah.
It's a tippable step.
Yep, and they just took the wheelchair and they left it with the staff in the cloakroom. We were assured it was nice and safe. And then we've just been brought down to the bar, and it's lovely. We had little seats reserved, which is the nicest thing ever because one of our biggest struggles,
So handy.
yeah, is trying to find seats in the bar or anywhere to sit before a performance starts. And this was so handy and so useful.
Another tip, if you go for the theatre, you might not get a seat in the bar before, so
Be
prepare
stealthy.
for that.
Be stealthy.
So what we do is we grab one of the name tags, like this. You write where you're from, so you name where you're from, and then you grab one of our pins and you just either pin it anywhere on the map. And what we do is we never get rid of all the pins. When the board is completely filled up, the producers come and take it down, they put up a new one and they store these boards somewhere.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely no idea where. I like to imagine there's some room in their house that's just full of these boards. So
Okay, we're going north. There we go, that's pretty north.
Just don't move.
I've realised something terrible.
What?
My hot beverage is over there. We've sourced a big blueberry muffin for this one,
The hungry one.
the hungry one, although I've got my free from Oti bar. What's new? Right, this is blowing my mind. We were literally in our theatre seats 20 minutes ago and now we are home.
This never happens.
No, it has
Ever.
never been that quick to get out of a theatre, and we didn't even like rush out. We were the last ones in the theatre and we just came straight out.
Yeah. So chill how they got everyone out. I don't know how they did it, but the auditorium cleared in like 2 minutes.
And honestly, I have nothing but good things to say about the experience we had. Like ATG, the theatre, they were so welcoming and so accommodating, and like nothing was too much trouble. They were so lovely to us. So thank you so much.
Yes.
If this happens to get passed on to anybody, like thank you so much because it really did transform our experience. And it was so lovely.
Yeah. It's just the little things
Yeah.
that they would just help you out with, like we were saying before, like saving us seats.
In the bar.
Oh, it just
Thoughtful.
makes it so makes it
Thoughtful.
so much easier to just to chill and not be like, right, where can we sit? Are you okay to stand for however long that we
Yeah.
might be there? Where do we put the chair? Is it going to be okay?
Yeah.
You just didn't have to
It
worry.
just took that off your shoulders.
Yeah.
And like that might sound like such a little thing, but when you've been in that situation, you know, like you just didn't feel like you had to worry. Oh. Let's try that again. Okay, so Come From Away. What did we think? Ah! That's not what we thought.
So Come From Away.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, my heart.
My heart.
My heart.
My heart. I'm an islander. Oh god.
I'm an islander.
Like there are no words. Like how do you describe it?
They've almost took something that's about a tragic event and made it quite...
Uplifting.
Yes.
Mike
informed us that it was all based on true stories.
Yes.
Which makes it even lovelier.
Like those things we saw tonight and which clearly touched an audience so much, they are actual things that happened, which is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And like they didn't actually make like real lengthy references to 9/11 itself
No.
or the event or what happened. That was just like contextual. It was very much focused on this specific island and the specific people on this island, and I thought that really worked in its favour, to be honest.
The plain people.
Oh, it was so lovely. It was people from all over the world. The stories of how, like, that obviously that really tragic event meant that their planes got diverted to this one tiny island, and how the population like pretty much doubled in capacity overnight, and like how they accommodated and how people integrated, like the different relationships with people. Oh, it like there was so much in it, but it wasn't like cognitively overwhelming to try and.
No, it was easy to follow, even though the cast were all. There was a quite a small cast, but they were playing
lots
a
of
multitude
roles.
of different characters. But it was so easy to follow.
Yeah.
Can we just give it just the accents?
Top
How and
Top notch. I'm in awe.
And it's not just speaking as well. The singing in the different accents, like.
The mannerisms,
yeah.
like the British guy, they nailed the whole Britishisms thing. And very culturally sensitive as well.
Yes.
Like it wasn't
No
stereotypes.
stereotypes.
Yeah.
The music though.
So good.
Or does that need like a separate?
I don't know, because I actually thought, and I quite liked this, I thought there wasn't as many musical numbers as there could have been.
Yeah.
Like they were more spaced out than I expected, or maybe that's just in comparison to the sort of things we usually see, but I liked that.
Yeah.
I liked that, and the songs that were there, it meant that they kind of like even packed even more of like an emotional punch.
The one that the pilot sung.
Yeah. Oh my god, the ending of it.
Yeah.
It was a really lovely uplifting song, and then the ending just
just it was literally, you could feel like the
audience
emotional fist just go.
Oh, please go and see it. Again, as Mike, the guy who was looking after us, said, like, you almost feel, is it okay to laugh? Like,
Yeah.
with what it's based on, but it was so funny. Like, it was, and it varied so much, so you'd be like laughing one minute, and then you'd just be so like, it would like hit you again the next, and then you'd be laughing again, and then it was constant back and forth, and it just like built and built. Like there was a really nice build up, like, and it wasn't like storyline wise, it wasn't as if it was building up to a big tumultuous event, because really the tumultuous event came first.
Yeah.
And it was about the aftermath.
Hey, that was interesting.
Yeah, that is
Completely
going in my
different
review.
take. And the fact that there's no interval
Yes.
completely like takes you in.
See, okay, right, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know how to feel about the no interval thing, because even when I see a show I love, my attention span is very, very poor. I mean, I think I can mostly blame it on my condition, but there is at least one element of it that just is the fact that I have a poor attention span.
You've never had a good attention span.
I've never had a good attention span. It's terrible. Yeah. So like 140 minutes, no interval, that felt like a lot, and I thought that my attention would waver, and like it always does, it always dips. But this, I couldn't believe when like you sense the ending coming, I couldn't believe that we'd got there already. Like it felt like the time passed so seamlessly.
It flew.
Yeah, it was just so immersive on stage, and again, like they made a really good point, Mike telling us all the deets. It was like if they had an interval, would the build-up have been as emotive as it was? Like, because the audience would be taken out of the situation and then have to be put back in it, whereas the way you were taken all the way through, there was no break, you were just really immersed in it. Would recommend, obviously.
10 out of 10.
Wow, like it did, like did you actually cry then?
I was very close, but I have contact lenses and false eyelashes in, so I
Risky.
so I had to like stop myself because I would have lost one. So I did control myself, but I know you teared up a bit.
A little bit, yeah. I
'cause
didn't.
You've got mascara on your face.
Oh, what now?
Yeah, you got it there.
Oh, what?
You can't see it on the camera though.
Oh, okay.
It's fine.
Well, that was the aftermath. I didn't like cry, but like, oh my god, it felt like emotional. But how do you even describe it? You know when something just really hits you and it really gets you and it really speaks to you? It was very much like that, and that's how you know that something
stays
is good
with you.
theatre. That sounded
Like,
so
I'm
pretentious. I'm so sorry.
I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah, we'll be thinking about it for a long time, and again, that's a sign that you've
Yeah.
seen something worth seeing. It's given you lots to go away and think about. I'm still not over how like quickly we got home. Like that's one thing. Like okay, right, the hub by Premier Inn that we're staying at. The situation with drop curbs and like nice pavements is not good around here. It's not good around this part of London. No. That's just a fact. But location wise, and when you're on a budget and you need a good location, like this is the go-to. Like this is probably like the third time we've stayed here. We're staying again in January.
Yeah.
Like the location is ideal, and it does mean that you save on taxi money.
I think if we were coming with your Janice electric,
Janice the power chair.
I don't think we would stay
No.
here because in the manual, because Pippa is able obviously to like
hop out,
we can lift a bit more. But no, it was a nightmare last time we came.
Yeah, last time we stayed, there was a vlog. I'll link it.
Yeah.
It was a real struggle.
We were going so far out of our way that the really convenient location
became a
it's
nightmare.
not. It's an inconvenience.
Take it with a pinch of salt. Like, this might not be the best place for you,
Yeah.
but if you're looking for something with a good location and you are able to be a bit more flexible, then would recommend.
Once you're inside, it's
pretty
fine.
good. There's some issues with the doors. I mean, like the doors haven't been designed
They
with like
don't have
accessibilities in mind. Like, we have to try and like maneuver and like do a weird pull. Like, you have to pull the wheelchair. I have to pull the door or kick the door to get through it.
Shoving Pippa in the wheelchair into the door to try and get it open.
Just like a human, like
battering ram.
Yes, that is exactly it.
Okay.
Sign off there. Probably see you tomorrow. Oh, this is not a good look. I thought that would look better than it actually did.
Why?
The scarf looks bigger than my face. Good morning. We are up. It's about 9:30. We've just had a leisurely get ready situation going on, and we've done our usual research breakfast that won't kill Pippa situation, and as always have concluded with the Ivy. So that's where we're off to now in Covent Garden. We're in the Cedar and Spruce, I think it's called, but it was basically advertised as like, baby, it's warm inside, so I was like, yep, we need to get right in there. It's so lovely. They were like open fires, we've got a nice mulled cider, it's lovely and warm. I'm very happy right now, very content. Okay, I'm actually vlogging on my own in a wheelchair and people are looking, this is crazy. But we're in Winter Wonderland, it's very nice. I think we picked a really good time of day to come because it's not too busy. I think it's about 12 o'clock now, and there's people walking around, but it's not rammed with people like it has been in the past. But all the lights are still on and stuff, so it's really cool. So we finished up in Winter Wonderland just as the rain started falling down, and we're just in a taxi back off to the kind of area where our hotel is, because we actually spotted a really cute kind of side street, and it seemed to have a load of like boutique shops and like bookshops and like vintage fashion outlets on it. So we're going to try and see how many of those we can get in. Okay, we've been in the theatre cafe for like 2 hours now, but I'm not mad about it. Jodie Pranger's just about to perform. I accidentally just blanked Jodie Pranger, now I can't look at myself anymore. But we've got hot drinks, and yeah, it should be good before we leg it for the train.
Are we ready to go? Everyone happy? Let's go for it. Hello everyone, welcome to the Theatre Cafe. This afternoon we have been joined by the cast of A Taste of Honey, and they are going to sing us some songs from the show. So, take it away guys!
Thank you!
Even sobs and broken on the kitchen floor. You drink all night. Your sleep is torn. Regret that you were ever born.
So first of all, what's the show about?
Well, the show is about Helen and Joe. I play Helen. Gemma Dobson over there plays Joe, the daughter. And it's about their relationships with these men. And Tom over there plays Peter. And Jerome here plays Jimmy. And we're missing Stuart, he's warned. And but it's set in working class Salford in Manchester, and it's just a true gritty kind of raw drama, but with a lot of heart. That's what it's about.
We are on the train.
Look at my fringe.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
We've made it safely back on. Assistance was fine. We didn't cut it too fine with the taxi. We were a bit worried because of the roadworks, but it's okay. So we came straight from the theatre cafe, where we must have been in there about 2.5 hours.
Yeah, no regrets.
No regrets. Like, you might not have been able to hear very well on the last clip, but we did find out that Jodie Prenger was coming to perform, and because the weather was horrible, we just thought we'll just sit in there and just enjoy that. I did accidentally blank her by accident. I don't understand how these things happen. I just feel awful, and I felt like I couldn't look her in the eye after that.
She calls herself a theatre blogger.
I call myself a theatre blogger. I literally just walked straight past her. So
Yeah.
bad. But yeah, we had a nice time. Really liked the theatre cafe.
So pretty.
I think we'd go again, wouldn't we?
And it was very reasonably priced.
It was. Everything had stagey names and the prices weren't bad at all.
Yes.
So all in all, a very successful trip. So we're just on the train back, which is now filling up with people, so it's probably time to wrap this up.
Yes.
But I'm going to end the vlog here, but I just wanted to say the biggest thank you to Official London Theatre and the people who made this happen, Megan in particular. And something else I wanted to acknowledge is when these opportunities...
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and warm welcome
with
to
me.
everyone. This is the 17:30 LNER service to Edinburgh.
Okay, so we're just going to wrap this up because people are getting on the train. But yeah, just wanted to say the biggest thank you to Official London Theatre and the team. And I just wanted to acknowledge as well, like when these opportunities come up, often we have to say no because the travel and the accommodation is something that we can't justify. So the fact that the team were aware of that and they acknowledged it and they actually accommodated it is such an amazing thing to see. So thank you so much again, and we'll see you next time.